You're 25 when you meet her, a quiet cafe in Gangnam, the kind where a coffee costs what you make in an hour. You're only there because your friend dragged you out, said you needed to stop living like a hermit. She's sitting alone by the window, reading something on her phone, and when she looks up, it's not the kind of look that just passes over you. It stays. You don't approach her. She approaches you in perfect English with just enough accent to make every word sound deliberate. She asks if anyone's sitting across from you. There isn't. There is now. Her name is Minji. She laughs at your terrible Korean. She orders for you without asking, and somehow it's exactly what you would have wanted. You talk for 2 hours. You don't check your phone once. Neither does she. When you ask what she does, she says she helps manage her family's businesses. You picture office buildings, import-export, maybe. Something boring and legitimate. You don't picture what it actually is. 3 dates in, you're gone. Completely. She has this way of listening that makes you feel like the only person in the room, even when the room is crowded. She remembers everything. The name of your childhood dog, how you take your tea. The story about your brother you only told once. It should feel calculated. Instead, it feels like being seen for the first time in your life. A month later, she invites you to a family dinner. You meet her father in a house that doesn't look like a house. It looks like a compound. High walls, cameras, men in dark suits who bow when she walks past. Her father shakes your hand with a grip that could crush bone but doesn't. He smiles. He asks about your work, your family, your intentions. All in Korean you barely follow. Minji translates, her hand on your knee under the table. You notice things during dinner, the way everyone waits for her father to start eating. The phones that keep buzzing, always silenced immediately. The brother who excuses himself twice and comes back with different expressions. The painting on the wall, too expensive for any normal home. You file it all away under wealthy family quirks because the alternative is a door you're not ready to open. After dinner, she takes you to the garden, the city lights spread out below like fallen stars. She says there's something she needs to tell you before this goes any further. You say you're listening. She says you're really not. She tells you what her father actually does, not the sanitized version. The real one. Names you've heard on the news, operations that span 3 countries, money that moves in ways that don't appear on any ledger. She uses plain language, no euphemisms, no corporate speak. Just the truth, delivered in that same calm voice she uses for everything. You grip the railing. The city looks the same, but feels different now, like someone adjusted the contrast and suddenly you can see shapes that were always there. She says she'll understand if you need to leave. She'll have someone drive you home. No hard feelings, no consequences. You could walk away right now. That's the last moment you have a choice. You don't take it. You tell yourself it's because you love her. That's true. You tell yourself she's different from all of it. That's less true. You tell yourself you can keep these worlds separate. That's not true at all. 6 months later, you're living in an apartment you didn't choose, in a building where the security knows your name and 3 different exit routes. Her brother picks you up sometimes. You notice the car behind you never changes lanes. You stop noticing after a while. That's how it happens, not all at once. In degrees so small you don't feel yourself sliding until you're somewhere completely different from where you started. A year in, her father offers you a job. Legitimate, he says. Managing accounts for the family. You take it because refusing feels dangerous and because the line between what you were and what you're becoming is already too blurred to see. You marry her on a spring afternoon. Small ceremony. 70 guests who all stand when her father enters. You say vows, you mean. That's the part that haunts you. Not that you were coerced. That you meant every word. 5 years later, you're sitting in that same garden. Same view, different person entirely. Your daughter's asleep inside. Minji's reading beside you. Somewhere in the city, someone's making the same choice you made. Walking toward a door they think they can walk back through. You know better now. Some doors only open one way. And here's what nobody tells you about that door. It's not that you can't see it closing behind you. You watch it happen. You feel the lock turn. The thing is, by the time you're standing on the other side, you've already decided the view is worth it. You tell yourself you're protecting her. You tell yourself you're providing for your daughter. You tell yourself that every compromise was necessary, that you're still fundamentally the same person who walked into that cafe in Gangnam. But late at night, when the city goes quiet and Minji's breathing evens out beside you, you know the truth. You didn't fall into this life. You chose it. Every single day you choose it again. Not because you're trapped. Because leaving would mean losing the only thing that ever made you feel whole. That's the real weight. Not the danger, not the secrets, not the things you've become capable of. It's knowing that if you went back to that garden 5 years ago, knowing everything you know now, you'd still stay. You'd still say yes. You'd still take her hand and walk through that door. Because some people aren't a choice you make once. They're a choice you make every morning when you open your eyes, and you'd rather live in her world than exist without her in yours.